mean, I should have known this was going to be bad going in because it's a Tomorrowverse movie. But also because these assholes had the balls to make it 3 parts. AKA 5 hours long. 5 hours. I'm sorry. What the hell were you thinking? Yes, I usually praise the multi-parters. I praise Long Halloween. I praise Dark Knight Returns. Yes. But with those multi-parters, it felt like one continuous story. This feels like a bunch of random storylines just immediately thrown together into some kind of resemblance of a plot. And it is probably going to be on the worst list for the year. Because this movie was bad. Like, bad. Like, possibly top 5 worst of the entire year bad. I was hoping that I wouldn't end up being right when I said that we may or may not be in for a rough time to close out DC Alive Volume 2. But no, I ended up predicting the future. Because this was one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch. Ever. It's not the worst thing I've ever watched. It's not worse than Superman 4, but it is still hard to watch. Let's rip this thing apart nice and quick. That way I can go back to pretending it doesn't exist until year-end list season. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, Mr. for Anything and Everything Animation. I am a very frustrated and pissed off Jackson Small. Welcome to my review of the absolute embarrassing, disastrous, colossal failure that is Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths. This movie sucks. All 3 parts of it suck. Is it the worst thing ever? No. But, oh my goodness, this is probably one of DC's biggest failures, and one of the worst DC movies I've ever watched, period. Like, this movie was awful, guys. I can't even begin to describe you how awful it is, because if I did, it'd be going straight into spoilers. And as much as I hate this movie, I've made a vow to try to keep spoilers out of my reviews unless it is specifically labeled a spoiler review. So because of that, this is one of those where I have to be vague about why it sucks, but just know that it sucks and that it's not worth your time. And again, 5 freaking hours. Really? Really? Here's my review I hope you enjoy. Wow. I mean freaking wow. This Tomorrowverse is such an underwhelming dumpster fire. And what was supposed to be its biggest big game changer turned into arguably one of DC's absolute biggest blunders ever. The story is stretched out and meandering. The writing is the blandest of bland. The characters are cutouts with little to no actual character. The animation is cheap and unremarkable, by far the worst Tomorrowverse animation I've ever seen. And some of the worst DC animation that I've ever seen. It is so cheap, it is so flat, it is so lazy. Add in the terribly integrated 3D CGI. Yeah, the animation in this movie is terrible. The amount of characters is way too much for the story to properly handle. The pacing is really bad and drags like a rock. The dialogue is some of the worst I've heard in a DC movie ever. The ending is absolute balls. It goes back to playing things way too safe until the 3rd part, rather than fully embracing the adult aspects of its source material. The jokes all fall flat and none of them are funny. Rewatchability is 0, and the runtime of 5 hours is not only obnoxious, but absolute, complete, and utter torture. So is there anything good here? there's a few things. The voice acting is still very good. Bringing in the cast from pretty much all these Tomorrowverse movies together. The fan service is prevalent and does do its job well enough. Kevin Conroy's final moment as Batman was genuinely touching. He did get a pretty great, badass final line to go out on. And it is awesome to see Batman Beyond again after all these years, especially since they even went the extra mile to get back his original voice actor. Like, that is commendable. Thank you, DC, for bringing back Batman Beyond, even if it's just for one movie. The action is okay. I mean, the fights give you what you want, but they kind of lack actual memorability. It just feels like your typical DC fare. And it does have some pretty good character moments, specifically Old Man Flash, who's the best part of the movie and is unfortunately in only the first part of this 3-part, 5-hour movie. Oh, and Constantine. And probably the last time we're going to hear Matt Ryan do the role. I mean, it's Constantine. I praised him this entire DC Live since he showed up in Justice League Dark. And he's still great here. But to be entirely honest, those positives are not nearly enough to justify sitting through this train wreck of bad storytelling and abysmal execution. Overall, this is one of DC's worst films ever, and definitely one of the worst animated movies of the year. And what a terrible way to end this second DC Live. Like, yes, it's not Quest for Peace, but this is still a terrible note to go out on. Highly recommend that you skip it, and honestly skip this entire atrocious, sorry-ass excuse of a canon known as the Tomorrowverse. Aside from the long Halloween, it's been nothing but an underwhelming, colossal, lazy failure that just makes me appreciate the New 52 even more than I already did. Hate the New 52 all you want, at least it was freaking consistent. And compounding that all together is going to bring me to my final verdict. It's probably going to be controversial. I'm probably going to have some fans attacking me in the comment section, but this is my pure and brutal honesty. After suffering through these 5 hours of absolute crap, and because of that, final verdict for Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, all 3 parts together, is a 2! 2 out of 10. Trash. Absolute trash. Do not watch it. Do not waste your time on it. And sure as hell do not waste your money on it. It is lazy. It is confusing. It is haphazard. And it is just plain awful. And again, 5 hours is too long for any movie. That's it. I'm sorry we have to end this month on such a intensely negative note, but I hated this. I hated watching all 3 parts of it, and I hated wasting 5 hours of my life on this pile of crap. Well, if you excuse me, I gotta go calm down now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And this is the last video for the day because I'm not reviewing Warworld. I refuse. And I've already said that I'm not reviewing Batman Ninja until the sequel gets an official release date. So this is the end for our second DC Live, and that pretty much covers the grand majority of the DC animated movies. Wow, what a wild, crazy, freaking jumps in different amounts of quality this has been. Most of them have been very good, but there is a decent bit of them that have been either underwhelming or just flat out terrible. I'm probably going to have to do like a top 10 best and worst list at some point, but it's not going to be right now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these reviews. Thank you for watching all of these reviews. Your viewership means the world to me. And even if I don't give a very positive review, I appreciate your guys' support. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you excuse me, I have another theme month to plan that literally starts tomorrow. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Don't watch this movie. It's trash. It's 5 hours of your life wasted. Don't bother. Goodbye.
Tell me what you are. I can see right through. No hiding, no scars. I'm not
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. Prepare to fight. We're ready for.